Hi, welcome back to Rich Man's Podcast. Before we commence, like, subscribe, comment, show some love. Okay, I'm going to be talking about inflation today, and I'm going to be focusing specifically on Nigeria. You see, Nigeria is a very beautiful country. As you all know, we just entered into a new year, and the gears of government, people, the society, the economy is moving at a fast pace. Okay, earlier today I was with a colleague of mine, and we got talking about the standard of living, the economics, and we made an observation. A tin of milk is now 500 naira, and it doesn't look like much, but it took us back to 5 years ago, where a tin of milk was about 200 naira. That is 2017, 2018. Okay, this is the inflation I'm trying to pass across to my audience. This is what you call inflation, when the gross amount of things in market is going up. The money to purchase those goods, it might remain the same, it might even go up, but the power to purchase those said goods becomes limited. Whereby in 2017, for 500, you could get a normal meager meal: bread, sugar, Milo or tea, milk, and eggs. I think this is a normal breakfast for, say, just even a low income earner. You might say it's not much, but let me put you on a bigger scale of things and explain to you the intricate details of inflation and what it does to our economy. And when we say our economy, it's our pocket, because it's with your purchasing power you'll be able to purchase whatever you want to purchase to meet your daily needs. I saw a post on Instagram from this fashion designer that is based in Dubai. He's a Nigerian fashion designer that puts out these ridiculous prices of designer shoes, shirts, etc. like that. He was making an instance. I think he posted it. A friend of his, I think, bought a house for 75 million in 2017. He bought that house for 75 million in 2017. Hear this. He sold the house 5 years later in 2022 for 130 million. You get that? He bought it for 75 million in 2017. He sold it for 130 million in 2022. To the average man, that will be a very good cash out. He made a substantial profit of about 60 million naira. But did he really make money? Did he really make money? We're only looking at it in terms of naira. So we're not even looking at the big picture in terms of the USD, the global money and currency which is accepted worldwide. Now in 2017, that 75 million was what, I think, $165,000 or $168,000. That money then in 2017. At the same time now, 130 million naira has the equivalent of, I think, $120,000 or $130,000 right now. So in actual sense, in 5 years, he lost about 25 million naira from the 130 million he made in profits here in Nigeria. You might say it's not much, but this is the effect of inflation on the economy. The gain he made in 5 years showed he made close to 60 million naira in naira sphere. But in the global aspect of things, the money he made had depreciated over 5 years. So it's like in the investment of real estate, which he dabbled into, he lost after 5 years, even though he made profit. I don't think you understand what I'm talking about. You should make the calculations. It will correlate. If we don't check the inflation in the country, because it bites everybody, everything has gone up like 200, 300 fold over just the last year, 2022, in retrospect. Inflation doesn't just come to stay. It metamorphoses to hyperinflation. I will give you an example of a hyperinflation situation. We'll go back to the 2000s, yes. Robert Mugabe's Zimbabwe. We'll remember that he started having issues with the British colonial masters that gave him independence after fighting the Rhodesian Bush War, which he and ZANU-PF won out. So when he started having problems with the UK authorities and they started placing sanctions, economic sanctions on him, he took it out on the white minority of the country, the landowners. These people had land and they understood the economics of farming, that they were able to support the larger GDP of the country. When he drove them out because of the squabble he had with the Western powers on the world stage, he put his people in charge of those lands which drove out the white minority from. Voila, what did we expect? It was an utter disaster. The economy was destroyed. It went on to hyperinflation, whereby people were using wheelbarrow filled with stacks money to buy just bread or tissue. This is how bad hyperinflation had hit the economy. You had jokes of the poorest millionaires in the world in Zimbabwe. I don't know if it's like that anymore, but of 20 years ago, that was how it was. You see a teacher earning about 4 million Zimbabwe dollars. And if you do that in the exchange rate, it's about 50K. They were not making nothing. So you saw a millionaire that if he changed his money in actual USD or against your local currency as of that time, it was peanuts. This is the effect of hyperinflation, and we shouldn't let it affect a GDP like Nigeria, because Nigeria is a large economy in the African world, where I think we're the largest economy. There are policies, business ideas, and implementation goals that can be taken to curb this inflation, because things will only go up, they will not come down. You should remember that they only go up, they don't come down. We should learn how to trap this inflation to help the next generation. If they come and they get used to high prices of things, They would not know the value of the local currency and the purchasing power. That's about it. I think you could drop a comment and we could discuss and share ideas. You could also like, subscribe, and click the notification bell for alerts and updates. It's your boy, Richman's Podcast.